Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. This is part 5 to the lowrider mini truck build, but part 2 of tearing down the white truck. Pull the cab off the frame. I gotta undo my steering linkage somewhere. I have to undo a couple other small things underneath the truck. Just check, make sure that ground's disconnected and whatever else may be down there. Pretty much gotten everything taken off though, so it's looking like I just need to lift this thing up and be in business. And very funny enough, I think throughout this video, I'm going to talk about a couple things I'm going to do to start the process of lowering it down, because it is way too high for my liking. So, step 1 is remove bump stops. I mean, what are we doing with these? Look at that bump stop there. There's one right over here that's got to come off. What else do we got? I don't know if I keep my sway bar, to be honest. I'll have to look at that. Seems like a really high sway bar though. But all sorts of fun stuff to come. We have, once we lower it down via torsion bars, we're gonna put our new upper arms. I cannot, it's because there's no weight in here. So like, I'm literally on bump stops because of that. The truck wants to go higher right now. That is hilarious. Gonna remove this bump stop, and there's some under the bed where the axle is. This big triangulated one can come off as well. There's 2 bolts that hold it in, one on each side. So we're going to get those off and throw them in the trash, because why would you want bump stops? Well, I did remove the rear bump stops, so those are now gone. I also took out this metal plate that was right there. Right over here, I'm going to have to wait until I get some pressure off the bump stops to get the front ones out. Cut off the rest of the nose because it was just there for no reason. Took the horn off, and now I'm actually going to push up on the cab, probably in the most solid spot I see. I mean, I'm not going to use a floor pan anyway. And try to slide a board of wood underneath the frame in the cab. That way, just to see if I, have everything off. And the last thing I'll disconnect is the steering when I get it down there, and the e-brake. And then we'll pull the cab off. And I suppose while I'm here, I'm also going to pull out the fuel tank, because I gotta put that shield under there. And check it out, bro. This thing is like a sand castle. We can just let it drop. I don't really care about it, but look at that sand. I'm actually surprised it's still nice right here, not rotted. Undid all the bolts. Now we just gotta work it out. Looks like I just gotta disconnect this little hose, and there should be yeah, there we go, the wiring harness for the sending unit. Once I disconnect those, I've lifted up the truck and I'm gonna slide it out. All right, guys, you know what? I'm gonna back this up into the grass and see if I can just pull the cab off myself. As long as I don't mess up the inner fender, I should be good, to be honest. So roll it over there and see what happens. The only thing I have to do when I get it down there on my own is the steering and the e-brake. Once I've done those, honestly, shouldn't be bad. But this truck weighs literally nothing. It's kind of insane. Taking the pressure off the e-brake, and it looks like you can simply, I say simply, we'll see, just like detach it from right here. So I'll see what happens when we, oh yeah, look at that. Might even be able to do it for one hand right on camera for y'all. Ready? We'll push down, snag this boy up here. I don't know, we'll get it, we'll get it. Get this cord off very easily, and there's just a bolt right there we got to take off, and I think that'll free the e-brake up to the cab. Yep, right there. So then it's just steering, and when steering is disconnected, I'm going to roll this off on my own. The last time she looks like this, I'm now going to attempt to roll the cab that way. Guess I don't really think that I was thinking about going this way, but I don't know, I'll figure it out. We'll get the cab off. Well, as you just saw in that beautiful time lapse, we got our new Nissan Hardbar. We're going to drive it just like this. Honestly, actually, it really wasn't that bad by myself. It'll be way easier with people. But I could probably pull the frame forward, lay the cab down so it doesn't look too atrocious in the neighborhood. And, wow, I'm very proud of myself. I did a lot to this truck today. And, just take a second and look at how beautiful this frame is. Man, I should really clean this up and spray it, I guess, while I'm here, huh? Guess I'll do some looking into that. It is so nice. It's unreal. Well, this is a pretty sick sight. I just want to say this is officially the new platform for the black truck. So we're going to carry over the black truck cab and as many parts as I can You know, the biggest part of this was to keep my first truck, and I think I did so in spirit, at least. This obviously is going to go to the scrapyard, but I'm going to cut the rockers off and all those fun things for all sorts of things on here. Well, I guess that doesn't show it. My rockers are gone. The cab corners are gone. I do need to shave up at the top there. One cool little bit of story, though. Yeah, look how terrible this is. So I know it's rotted, but it was my first truck, and I just want to hold true to that. And this is not any crazy better. Like, this is cooked, and this is leaving that. And this is bent here. It's like my stepfather had mentioned his auto body, so it's like somebody grabbed there and there to try to lift up on the cab. I don't know. It looks, yeah, there's a crease here. This is an aftermarket window for sure. There was glass all inside the cab, so I'm going to believe a tree had fell on top of it at one point, and they did an okay job bringing it back. But man, this is nuts. This is so unreal to see. Essentially, the next part is to get the drivetrain in, actually. I think what I'll do is pull the engine out of that one next, put it in here, and I'm basically probably going to drain all the fluids now. And then when I get the truck over here, I'm going to pull the engine out and the transmission, or actually just leave the transmission. That's trash. The whole frame in that one's going to the scrapyard. But when I get the engine out, it's going to drop right in place here. And then I am going to, take the two-wheel drive transmission, put the clutch on it, bolt it right up, all right here, so I can just work on it. And then we're going to run the drive shaft and put the cab on and see if she fires. So it shouldn't be too bad. Actually, so impressed with how clean this thing is. I mean, it's godly how clean it is. Looks like a little bit of a dent there. Yeah, okay, we got one right here. Yeah, like literally straight as can be. Nice Florida frame. Now let's get that truck on the driveway. Or actually, let's drain out. I'm going to drain out my fluids first. But yeah, that's boring. You don't want to see that. Unfortunately, like I said, there's a lot of parts. But I mean, look at this. This thing is on the ground right now. And I just got so much height. So it's all going to make so much more sense when you guys see this truck as well as the purple truck. It's just going to be sick. Well, right before I start, here's a final walk around of the black truck on the 4x4 frame. And wow. Definitely crazy to think that this is just not going to be here anymore. It's super weird. I've been putting a hell of a lot of time into this frame, but it's going to be so worth it at the end. So we got the coolant draining out, just got the radiator off. This is literally like truck teardown 2.0, but I won't go as into detail because it's the same thing. So one big thing is this truck steering box. Well, the new truck steering box is manual steering. So I'm going to use the whole all the way up to the steering wheel. Yeah, I hope I don't have any problems there. If so, I'll dash swap it, I guess, with a square dash. I'd prefer not to use the red dash, but yeah, we'll figure it all out. That's a problem for tomorrow. But I don't have power steering anymore, so I'm going to essentially take the pumps and everything off the engine and, I don't know, hold on to them, I guess. I mean, they weren't bad, but someone might be able to get some use out of them. But just wanted to fill you guys in on what I had going on. I guess I should maybe still take this fan off regardless. We'll see. Okay, we are now in the garage. It's late at night, and I won't get the engine pulled today, but I want to get it prepped to be pulled. So, it's the new transmission shown in here. I got to go over it, make sure everything's okay. Who knows if it even works? That could be a really big downside, unfortunately, if it is blown or something. But I got to inspect the supposedly new clutch and flywheel. I do believe it's new. It's got some surface rust, so it's been sitting around a while or seen some weather. I am going to pull the hood off this for now. And I don't know where to put it for now, but if I pull it, it'll make working on this 10 times easier instead of holding it up with a bar. Have a little bit more light, and just going to go crazy with it. I mean, I am so exhausted. This is part 2, I guess, I think, and it's just been the same day. I got the cab off the truck in the same day, and we pulled this into the garage, and now we work on it. That's a very funny moment. This vehicle is literally 25 years old, and the hood has never been off. I literally had to break the caulking off of the hinge. That is hilarious to me. You get some kid like me that just likes to ruin nice cars. Actually, I wouldn't even say this is nice. You just get a kid like me who just likes to ruin cars. All right, making some progress. I've gotten more of that wire harness pulled out of there. You know, just one clip at a time, taking your time. And, oh, man, I can actually remove these when I get a chance because we got the two-wheel drive airbox going on, so this will be too tall. Man, all sorts of fun stuff. Just really taking my time. There's a lot of emission stuff with the newer engine that's a little bit more, I'd say necessary, unfortunately. So I don't think I can really get rid of all this crap here. Maybe I can. If I can, tell me, because it's not doing anything anyway. It's trash. But unfortunately, I just want to make sure it runs right. So I'm just taking my time, getting everything off the fender wells. And I got to get underneath the truck and start pulling out bell housing bolts. But I got some time until then. Sorry, guys, we're going to get under here now. Like I said, I'm not going to go too insanely in-depth on the teardown of this because, again, you just saw how to do it. But I need to get behind the engine and disconnect the bell housing bolts. Leaking some fluid on my floor. That's never fun to mess with, just laying in puddles of random fluids. But got a little bit more energy right now. Last night I was pretty beat after tearing apart that whole other truck and then pulling this in and starting to work on this. So lots to do, but I'm going to lift it up, get under there, and start disconnecting. Another thing I'm going to do right now for time's sake is strip down a little bit of the interior. I think I can leave all my vents and stuff alone, but I definitely got to get these doors off. Yeah, I don't know what I gotta do there. I know I was trying to get to the bell housing bolts first, but maybe I'll reach in there and just unclip the speaker and pull the wires out properly so I can save the harness properly. And just pull the carpet, a little shifter piece. I'll leave all my seat belts. Those are all gonna stay. Take the sub out. And just like that, bam, look at that. She is all stripped out now. I actually needed to strip this down to get to some of the top bolts of the transmission. Hopefully I still can. One thing I forgot about when I body dropped this is I totally forgot I was going to cut out my transmission tunnel, which I'm too ambitious. It sounds easier than it really is. I mean, look at this. The transmission is literally on there. Like, what a fun time this is going to be getting the trans out. But it won't matter too much, I don't think. Put this in too high. I'll leave this in gear because there's no e-brake, which is nice. You know, I'll have an e-brake again. This does nothing. It's literally not connected to anything anymore because I cut it. Yeah, I think I'll be able to get to the top bell housing bolts now. I actually already took out a couple of the bottom ones, so looking pretty good. Okay, boys, so this is the combination I used to get the starter bolts, and it actually made getting the starter bolts like the easiest thing ever. I probably spent like a total of 30 seconds getting them out. So now this should really just kind of pop off there. Wonderful. And now we just gotta connect the electronics that go to it, all the wires, and I should have two more bolts up at the top of the cab there, and I put a jack under the cab, so now we have some space to hopefully fit some extensions to get to the bolts we need. Fun times. Big W. Don't recommend lifting up your cab like that, but my all my bolts were cut anyway. I undid the harness. I got all the bell housing bolts out, and now I just got to continue getting the harness off. I think there's one more piece on this side I have to detach from the transmission, pull it up over. All my harness is off, and I don't know. I'm sure I got to disconnect some lines, a couple other small little things in here, a lot of hoses. I'm worried about disconnecting hoses. Those are harder to trace than connections. And once I do that, I should be able to pull the engine. Same story as the other engine. Unfortunately, this engine mount is broken. It kind of makes sense. They're pretty old, but they're not a great design from the factory. Shouldn't really just snap off like that. How about this side? I'm kind of hoping this side's broken at least. It's a good engine mount. Who'd have thought you'd ever say that, huh? Anyway, just got to disconnect the engine mounts and just slowly tug on this. You know, it might be a couple little things. I'm already seeing little things right here. But as I lift it up, I'll be able to tell what else I need to disconnect. Actually, I really do need to disconnect whatever my fuel source is. I just got to find it. Probably just one of these hoses up here. But we got it back on the ground. I had to lift up the truck to fit the stand under there. It's so funny because, again, like I said, this truck sits so high. But then I have to lift it up to fit the arms under there. So anyway, I'll keep disconnecting things and let's pull this engine. Once this engine's pulled, I'm probably just gonna pull the crane right outside and have the new frame sitting here and drop it right on there. Almost there. There's just this little bar sitting in the way. It's our steering bar, of course. Sits a little higher on these. And that oil pan is gonna have to get changed out with a two-wheel drive pan. I hope that's something I can do, question mark. I believe it'll be fine if so. You know, it's kind of crazy to think. I never thought I would take the engine out of the truck. And here she is. Like I said, most notably, I think the biggest thing I'm going to have to change is the oil pan. Made a giant mess. Wouldn't be a day in the garage if I didn't. And I should be fine, too, as long as I switch over. Oh, and the other engine has the oil pan, so I just need the gasket. Wow, that's fire. I don't know if it'll even sit on the frame properly without the right pan. And it would suck to... Yeah, it would kind of suck to not have the oil pan on before putting it in. So maybe I'll go get an oil pan gasket and some other parts I need, and we'll drop this in on the other frame. And she's out. Oh, I'm so happy right now. Like I said, I'm going to change up some parts, and I'll see you guys in a few. But this is so cool to see. Right over here is the engine and oil pan. I got to clean that thing up big time. Just get all that gunk off there. And things aren't looking too bad, to be honest. Pretty happy with how this is all going so far. Now I'm just gonna bag up over the engine underneath it and drop it back down on the tire for now, and who knows what I'll do with this engine. So I think I'm gonna make the decision for right now to, I guess, roll this truck out of the garage and get that other frame in here so I can start assembling my engine trans combo. But yeah, I'll probably just slap a door back on each side while it's over there, just one bolt, and get it up there, and hope things don't get wet. I actually, real fast too, I might just on my own right now remove that transmission because I have someone coming to actually pick it up, which is cool. It'll get a good use, and then when the truck's over there, I have like a couple little things to unbolt and roll the cab off the same way I did before. Bring my new frame over there with the engine and roll it back on. Okay, we got the transmission out. Woo, that was heavy. But she's out now, so just gonna tighten it up and go put it outside, I guess. All right, guys, I got the doors back on and cleaned up the wiring harness with a nice bag. We're gonna go push this thing outside. We'll swap the cabs outside, but for now I need to get the frame in here because it's raining. With the new engine over here, I just gotta change out that oil pan and we can drop it right on here, hopefully. I hope it works. That's probably the harder part right now. The next hard thing will be getting the cab on here, but it'd be pretty sick to see this with the engine on it. Okay, so being a four-wheel drive engine, the oil pickup is a lot lower sitting than the pan, than the two-wheel drive pan. So we're gonna go pull the two-wheel drive oil pickup, slap it on here. Does the same thing. I can't imagine we'll have any issues. Famous last words. And just make this happen. But gonna go drop this engine now and go pull it off the other engine. So right over here, we've gotten our new oil pickup in, a little bit smaller, so now I can run the two-wheel drive oil pan, which is great because it's starting to really rain. Here is our beautiful oil pan gasket. Now she goes over there. All right, boys, and now it's time to place this right here. We're going to take our flywheel. It's a little dirty because it was sitting in the cab, but it is brand new, so I'm going to clean it off some brake parts cleaner, and we're going to install it here, and I will put down below what the torque specs are. And an update. Flywheel bolts are torqued to 70 foot-pounds. One thing I wanted to show you guys is I am changing the valve cover now because it is a mess down here. But gonna clean some things up, I guess, while I'm here, make sure everything is good to go, and slap that valve cover back on there. Okay, so we've gotten the gasket all ran in place. We're gonna flip it over and place it right on here. We cleaned up our surfaces and added the little half moons on the front and back. And make sure the half moon, it doesn't go here, it goes right here. All right, guys, so I've made some serious progress on this. I'm just about ready to roll the cab off. Like I said, all the same things, essentially. I disconnected the e-brake. I got a lot of small stuff to do, pulling the e-brake off of that for this truck, XYZ. I mean, there's a lot to do still, but I think everything is disconnected now. Removed the master cylinders, the lines off the wall, bagged up all the harnesses so nothing gets crushed. Probably not the preferred way to do it, but I'm going to roll the cab off the frame this way and just hope for the best. So, wish me luck. We did it. That truck cab is now off the frame. Honestly, I'll actually probably wait to swap wheels because that one has an extended, I'll just call it an arm for now. So this sits a little longer, so it'll be easier to get this cab on the other frame with this wheel. But I'm actually going to swap it out. I'm going to change over the e-brakes, the whole e-brake assembly essentially into this one. And so much more. I got to figure out if I am fine around my heater cord like that. We'll get there when we get there, though. Man, this frame is out, though. I mean, honestly, just besides the rot we saw, it's not atrocious. Like, it's still fairly solid. I probably could have gotten a couple more years out of this, no problem. But way nicer having that beautiful clean frame. I mean, look at that. You can see all the mounts I cut. And, oh, man. I was going to make it work, though. So, I don't know. Just proud of myself. But the biggest difference, and I can show you right now, is the upper control arms sit mid-frame, right? As to, you can see the upper control arms sit right at the top of the frame. Even adjusted up a little bit just to get that top, just to get that as high as they can. So that is what allows you to get so low and maximize just getting low with your ride height. But what I'll probably start doing now is disassembling anything I need off of this frame. So taking these wheels off, putting them on mine, my new truck essentially. All the wiring harness needs to come out because I need that harness because it goes with my ECU and everything else. Or maybe it's all the same. I don't believe so, though, because you got all the emissions crap back there. So one thing at a time. But, man, super proud of the progress. But, all right, everybody, that's going to be it for today's video. This seems like a great place to stop now that we've rolled both cabs off the frame. Pretty great content, actually. I'm pretty hype about this. Gotten a hell of a lot done. If you want to see some more mini truck car content in the future, don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace out.